My name's Adam Manaka and I'm the Financial Controller for Hi-Tec Oils. With our national capacity, we can now service Australian companies nationwide. Of late, we have now expanded into the New Zealand market. Here at Hi-Tec Oils, we receive premium base oils and premium additive packs. Together, with our highly trained staff, we manufacture over 500 premium quality products. Hi-Tec Oils is Australian made and Australian owned.
KIDO Ultra's decision coming down to give BEAU Yates the win in round 2 of the Hi-Tec Drift Allstars. North of the border for the very first time that the Hi-Tec Drift Allstars visits Queensland Raceway.
Everyone has been out there absolutely destroying it today in practice. From the Pro-Ams to the Pro, unbelievable driving, plenty of tyres, plenty of speed, some good battles already in the practice, so I can't wait to see what the battles bring, mate.
I'm excited to see Levi Clarke out there defending on his home track, coming into the Hi-Tec Drift Allstars to try and put some points on the board. That 3 to 6 section, the judges have emulated the fast line that we see at these Matsuri, so instead of trains, we're going to see pros and pro-ams going door to door.
We had a bit of an accident in round 2 and it involved replacing the whole rear end on the car, so it's probably the best time to come up with a new design and make it look a bit fresher. We had a fuel contamination at round 2 which created a misfire in the engine, so I pulled the engine out and sent it back to Dewars Performance, got him to check everything, make sure it was all fine, because at a track like this, using the horsepower we're using, you want to make sure the engine's fresh and it's going to last for the end of the event. I think it's just going to require a bit more throttle control on my first run to make sure I've got enough tyres for the second run.
Definitely has been a bit of a hard start to the year. You know, like these things happen, you can't have it all your own way. Round 1 just had a bit of a steering failure. Round 2 had a bit of a weird miss in the engine. We actually thought we had it fixed, but you know, 2018 continues. We're here round 3 and still got a miss in the engine. So we've spent the whole day trying to diagnose it. Pretty much swapped out every single part, and yeah, it's still playing up, but I'll just go there and do the best I can, really.
Since the last round of Hi-Tec, we got the win in Winton Motor Raceway. The car went to Scott at Insight Motorsport and they've fitted a new M-Tron KV12, and the car's now running anti-lag alongside the new Bosch electronic throttle body, injectors and pressure and temp on water, oil and fuel. So yeah, it's a completely different car to Winton, but it's performing really well.
Yeah, it's awesome to come back out for another round of Hi-Tec. Like we've been waiting for them to come up here and they've finally done it. So yeah, it's awesome that they bring the sport up to Queensland and giving us local drivers a go at the local track. The last time we did Hi-Tec, it was down on the Peanut track and we were running NA back then. Still had the Hollinger in it. But now we've stepped up with the GDX 42 turbo, and since then we've had a few issues with engines, but we've got EFI Performance on board and put a Motec in it with the M-Tron computer, so we've been able to pull a lot of data out of the car and get it dialed now. So we're stoked we've got Nexon on board now. Like, it's just really picked up our game. We've been playing with tyre pressures out here all day, but it's going to fall into night soon, and once the track temps go down, we're going to be chasing tyre pressures again. But yeah, Exceedy's been on board since day dot, so.
The series points ladder is looking tight after some serious battles between BEAU Yates and Michael PROSENIK. BEAU in front by just a single point, while Rob Arbolino in 3rd place is hungry to get back up to the top again. Brad Toohey and Aaron Jouar rounding out the top 5, while Warwick Hill, Angus Kidd and Daniel Christic all have points on the board. And it looks to me like we're going to see our points ladder repeated in qualifying. Rob Arbolino getting that 3rd place.
Listen to that Dewars Performance engine singing. Rob using that wheel. This is the back corner where it's just foot flat.
Roast mode. Now Jouar himself there getting the 2nd position in qualifying. That NA V8 singing, and such a quick car, that light S14. I reckon we're going to see him gapping a few cars in the battles.
And Jouar stepping up. But here's your man, your number 1 again. BEAU the show. Yates has done it time and time again. And listen to that 2J sing.
Yeah, how's the pedal through that middle section? Little bits of dose, everything like that. And I think that was probably one of the quickest runs we'll see through here. Points coming up now, and there it is. BEAU Yates leading by 4 points in qualifying. Aaron Jouar getting second place qualifying position, only just in front of his mate Rob. Dubs is going to be stoked with that. Michael Prosenik a little bit down, but he's known to step it up in the battles. Then Brad Toohey, our 5th place qualifier. There's Anthony Billick sitting on the line there, back up in Queensland, going up against Angus Kidd. This should be a nice battle.
Yeah, that Game On Motorsports Supra is singing. The AAA Tyre Factory S13, the little SR20. The only one left in the field. Let's see what Billy can do.
Aggressive entry there from Angus Kidd. Bit of a feint and then straight into that first corner in this famous 3 to 6 section that makes QR what it is. You see a lot of crazy trains going through here at the Matsuris, but now it's on for the battle, and Anthony Billick desperately trying to chase down the faster Supra of Angus Kidd.
Yeah, unfortunately, Billy could just not really know Angus there at all on that run. Gave him pretty much a 2-3 car gap that whole run. You know, we want to see him up nice and tight on the door of that lead car, emulating throughout the run.
To give Billick his credit, though, he is pushing wider there through that outside clipping zone, but you do need to stick with the lead car, so a difficult one there, but I believe the advantage going towards Angus Kidd.
Bit of damage on Angus's car there. Caught a barrier yesterday in practice, so listen to that little SR.
It's an angry thing. I bet it just makes your little heart skip a bit.
Oh, look at Gus, nice and tight on the door. Billick out wide, filling all that zone. This is looking good from the boys. Oh, a little bit of a straighten up from Angus.
He's coming in though, he's hungry for this. He's chasing down Billick with everything he's got. I think that mistake might have hurt him a little bit, but geez, so much tighter on Billick than when these roles were reversed.
Yeah, definitely some more aggression there from Angus over Anthony. It could go either way here. We'll wait to see what the judges pick. Looking at the replay thanks to GOODRIDE tyres. One more run, there you have it. Judges could not split them. They're going to go one more run.
Got to agree with that one. Angus, when he was out in front, did gap Billick quite severely, but it was a clean run from both drivers. Now, when that was switched around, Angus came in nice and tight, you know, filling up Billick's door with that big boy Supra, but had a bit of a straighten up through the middle section. So with those points deductions, I think it's only fair that we see him run again, and here they go.
Anthony Billick out in the lead, Angus in the chase. Oh, a little bit of a straighten up from Angus.
Oh, that SR just sings though. Billick flying away, but then you see the Supra of Angus Kidd does seem to have quite a bit of extra speed, both in terms of power and grip, so no worries sticking there with Billick, but a bit of a messy chase run there from Angus Kidd. I think that's going to go to Billick.
And we can hear that little SR echoing in the background. We'll take a look at the replay again, thanks to GOODRIDE tyres. As you can see there, a little bit of a straighten up from Gus, and that's why it's going to go to Anthony.
Hard decision there, but the judges calling it in Billick's favour. He's going to be stoked. He was so excited about coming up to Queensland Raceway. Now for the big dog, Michael Prosenik leading Glen Atkins. That naturally aspirated V8 Sylvia, just a rocket ship, and only a point behind BEAU Yates in the series standings. It's all going to be on the line for Michael Prosenik tonight.
How good was that view from the roof? Listen to that engine sing from Michael Prosenik. What a car. What a bloke. Everyone knows I have love for this guy, and absolutely out there slaying tyres. Unfortunately, Glen Atkins has fallen behind.
Look at that gap.
Yeah, look at that smoke trail. Well done by Michael Prosenik. Had the advantage going into the second run.
Easy advantage there to call for the judges riding on board, looking over that big inlet manifold out the bonnet.
Listen to it.
Yeah, let it scream. Here we go. Such a wild car.
Yeah. We're going to turn him around. Glen Atkins is going to lead out Michael Prosenik. Two totally different cars, but Atkins is out there giving it all. Let's see if Michael can get nice and close on the door.
Tight on the entry there from Pros, but he is leaving Glen a bit of room, knowing that he's the quicker car. Switching back now through the middle section before the final switch into turn 6, where I'm sure Pros is going to get all over Glen Atkins, and here's the tuck in.
Nice from both the boys there, putting on a show. Oh, in the smoke, well done. What a run.
Tight chase there from Michael PROSENIK. Very calculated, you know. Pros has a lot of battle experience under his belt. Good to see Glenn Atkins back out on track, but that's just the sort of thing that happens in these battles. You do get put up against some of the big names, and Michael PROSENIK getting the win there thanks to KIDO Ultra. Next battle on the line, we have Brad Toohey up against a good mate of mine, Michael GINN from Dory Junkie Imports, Australian distributor of BN, that you see that big BN Sports kit on his JZX. I'll go on forever about that car, but awesome looking thing that seems to be outpaced by Brad Toohey. So as much as a cool looking car, might be all we see of it tonight.
Well, unfortunately, off that line, you can see Michael just spinning the tyres, getting no traction, and we all know that Brad Toohey off the line has plenty of wheel speed. That car would have dripped up, shot him down that straight and just left Michael behind. So unfortunately, Michael's not going to score well in that one, but there's still one more battle to go. Hopefully he can turn it around.
Positions will be switched in a sec, but here's the replay, and like you said, big old drag race off the line. Brad Toohey's car just has so much grip, so much power, but even if they had have been together going into that first turn of turn 3, it seems like the speed of that Prestige Tyre and Auto twin supercharged LS86 was just too much to reel in for Michael GINN in what is a pretty staunch 1JZ JZX90.
Here we go, let's spin them around. As you can see, Toohey not even on the power that hard yet, off the straight. Michael doing a good line, out nice and wide, where the judges want to see. Coming through the middle S's. This is a good run from Michael, take nothing away. Unfortunately, just doesn't really have that wheel speed of Brad Toohey's car. Brad gets up nice and tight on the door.
There's a chase all over that JZX90. Michael GINN, you know, we see him out here at a lot of the Matsuris, you know, knows his track back to front, but there just seems to be a big difference in speed in those two cars. Going to the replay now, I think we are going to get the result. That's Brad Toohey, thanks to KIDO Ultra, getting the win there. Unfortunate to see Michael GINN on the trailer, but he has had a great event so far in that Dory Junkie Imports BN Sports JZX90.
On with Joel Dimmick in the 240Z with the R35 powered engine, up against the man in the big powered S14 Carby. Just listen. Absolutely smoking tyres. Aaron Duarte out nice and wide, looking good.
Seems like Joel Dimmick had some issues. It was sounding mean on board with that late model R35 GTR
no,
motor.
Joel's nearly spun it around. Obviously chasing a few mechanical gremlins there, not allowing him to put a lap through.
Oh, that straight cut sequential box just sounds so nuts, but here he was all over the handbrake there, struggling a little bit with the controls, just not getting it in the right gear, not getting the steering input he needed, so maybe a bit more practice needed in that vehicle, but Aaron Duarte switched on and knows exactly what he's doing out in the lead.
On board with the man himself. Picking the gears, second, third.
More gearbox audio porn.
Oh, big throw by Aaron. Oh, he's hitting. Wow, nice and aggressive from Aaron. Exactly what I want to see. Looking good. Can he get back up on Joel? Joel doing the gentleman thing, keeping the battle going. Remember, Joel has pretty much incomplete the run before.
Seems to be on it now, though. That little tap in the butt giving him the motivation that he needed to get moving. Doesn't seem to have left any visual damage. So Aaron Duarte is coming in hot and chasing as closely as he can. Little bit of a love tap there.
Look at that, but Joel keeps in it. Aaron has a slight straighten up.
You know, if anything, I reckon that tap is what gave Joel the angle he needed to get through that corner
he
nicely.
He looked like he was going to straighten up there, and Aaron helped him through it.
Oh, some tight battles so far, and there's going to be plenty more of it on the other side of the break for the Hi-Tec Drift Allstars.
I'm standing next to Joel old Dim Mac in his very cool 240Z running a VR38 engine in it. Now, this is the first time you've been at Hi-Tec, isn't it, Joel?
Yeah, this is my first time in the Hi-Tec Drift Series, so yeah, I'm really excited to be here. Hi-Tec invited me to come out. It's my home track, so it wasn't too far to go, but yeah, really happy we made it. I'd say that I probably started drifting the day that I got my driver's license, which was about 10 years ago now. So I started all the way from, you know, street car, doing street series, grassroots events, going into amateur events, and then getting into pro events, and now we're in the national series and looking to go international soon. It's not quite your average drift car, so it's a 1971 Datsun 240Z platform, and we basically shoehorned an R35 Skyline GTR engine in it, which is a VR38, 3.8 litre twin turbo V6. So yeah, it's a bit unique compared to the factory engine, which is a inline 6 L24 2.4 litre. It's so much better, you know, because the V6 is a lot more compact. We can actually keep the weight down low, hard up against the firewall, and it's actually the front of the engine's behind the strut towers, so a much better center of gravity. And there's a few key things here in the transitions that you can, yeah, it can benefit you in your favour. So obviously I'm just going to apply those sort of tactics and my own ground knowledge, and yeah, put on the best show that I possibly can.
Straight back into the action in the top 16. We'll see Finny O'Hare up against Levi Clarke. Battle of the S15s here, but couldn't be any more different. Finny's car, big power JZ under the bonnet there, while Levi Clarke, turbo LS, turbo the size of your head, and a Queensland local is sure to be a tight one.
Looking good as the boys come in. Levi absolute slays this track. As you can see, so much speed they've got into this S15 now after a few changes. Oh, Finny tries to do the dive in, has to slow all the way down. Finny again was fighting a few, but look at Levi, wow.
Not only is that car blazing the rears, but watch as it comes back onto power. It just changes direction like crazy. Here we go through here, through this middle section. As soon as he's back on the pedal, bam, dives into that apex there. Well set up, very grippy car with a great driver as well. Levi Clarke leaving Finny O'Hare behind there. Riding on board with him now. Look at that luxurious interior, furry dash, la-di-da.
Finny O'Hare in the wheel shop, S15. Levi nice and tight. It should be a good chase from CLARKE. Finny on limiter. He had dramas again this weekend with his car. Unfortunately, I think he fried some piston rings, so he didn't have enough power. He was sitting down a gear, just sitting on limiter. He said, I'll blow the thing apart if I have to. And look at that chase from Levi, and what a run from Finny. Down on power, but putting on a show for the crowd. Hats off to both the boys.
That's the thing I love about Finny. You know, he goes out there, he drives the hell out of this car, but if something goes wrong, doesn't let it end his weekend. He worries about that in the week after and just slays it. Unfortunately, yeah, seemed to be a bit down on speed, and the local has gotten on top. Well done to Levi Clarke. Not only is that car quick, but his line is on fire. I'm keen to see him later on in those battles.
On board with Rob Arbolino, Warwick Hill in the chase. The Performance BMW up against the Hi-Tec Oils 50Z, and look at the speed from Rob, leaving Warwick behind. Want to get out nice and wide there as we ride on board. Smoke filling up the cabin.
Some of you might remember Rob Arbolino's car here, the Hi-Tec 350Z, did have some rear end damage after Winton, but the boys have done such a fantastic job stitching a new rear end on that car. Out here looking great, driving great, and gapping Warwick Hill quite severely there in the lead run.
Yeah, as you look at the replay, thanks to GOODRIDE tyres, as you take a look at the end of the replay, Warwick's a bit far behind. May look like he might have a mechanical. You have to wait and see. As you can see there, he's there driving straight. So maybe something happened to Warwick's car.
Word up from the pits that Warwick Hill having gearbox issues. He went straight in to have the car inspected, but now Rob Arbolino also appears to have driveline issues while circulating back around to sit in the pits and wait for Warwick. So this could be a forfeited battle all around. Rob's going to be absolutely gutted. Let's hear from Carly.
Thanks, guys. Oh my gosh, Rob, what has happened? You're doing so well, and you're doing some crazy runs, and you're burning and smoking all those tires. Look at this tail shaft. What's happened?
Well, as you know, this is supposed to be under the car, not in my hand. Yeah, as usual, when you're having a good day, you usually get thrown with the worst things you can. And I never thought I'm going to break a tail shaft because we spent a lot of money to make sure that was the strongest part in the car. But as you say, that's racing. You can't win them all, I guess. And yeah, you can't always have luck on your side.
Such a shame for the Hi-Tec 350Z as a very well-prepped car. Tail shafts work until they don't, and unfortunately that means Rob Arbolino on the trailer is the guy currently sitting in third place for the series. Battles back around now. We're riding on board with Benny Mir as Alex Sharker chucks it in to turn 3 there.
Yeah, good to have Alex Sharker back in the competition after a little stint on the sidelines. Benny Mir trying to get nice and close on the Sharks' door. That 1J powered RX-8 looking good.
Seemed to drop a bit of speed there, switching back between 5 and 6, and Benny Mir is all over Sharker.
Nice finish there from Benny. He was a little bit messy at the start of the battles, but you know, he came in good right at the end there where it counts. As you can see on this last corner, Alex does a nice line, gives plenty of room for Benny to tuck him up on his door.
Looking at it again though, it does look like Ben may have taken a slightly shallower line there to maintain that proximity, so we'll see how the judges go with that one. But Ben Mir now out in front to see if he can flex a bit of extra speed, but Alex Sharker right behind him.
Looking good. Alex a little bit oh no! Sharks had to pull out of it, had to straighten up, gives Benny Mir the opportunity to drive ahead in that lead position.
Sharker reeling him back in, but is it too little too late after packing on a lot of lock on that first entry and speed stalling to let Benny Mir pull away?
Wow, not the way Alex Sharker wanted to come back, I can tell you that. Let's take a look at the replay thanks to GOODRIDE tyres. As you can see right here, throws on too much lock, has to pull out of it, and it all goes downhill from them for Alex.
Bit of a clutch dump in a higher gear, and I reckon that would have come good. But anyway, this is how our top 8 is rounding out. We've got BEAU Yates up against Anthony Billick, Michael PROSENIK against Brad Toohey, Rob Arbolino against Ben Mir, and Aaron Jouar facing off against Levi Clarke.
Ross, I've seen you under the car, I've seen you under the dash. What's happened?
We've had a few dramas today. We've had clutch issues with the clutch pedal itself, and that caused it to slip again, as well as the fuel pump decided it wanted to die, and 2 fuel filters went through as well.
It's such a shame because you went all out there, you entered Pro-Am and you entered Pro, and how far did you get?
So we made it to top 16 in Pro-Am, and we were going to qualify for Pro, but as I went to go out, the car stalled because it blocked the pump again.
More mechanical issues in the pits. That's drifting. You put so much stress on these cars. Combine that with a tight event schedule and getting prep done around work and other things, and you do sometimes see this stuff in the pits. One car that really doesn't seem to have many mechanical issues is BEAU Yates in that Toyota Genuine Parts 86. A lot of killer work done out at Hypertune and by BEAU himself. This car is serious and will be facing off against Billick. There's that new screamer pipe out the bonnet there, popping a couple of flames out the bonnet vent. Bit of excitement there for BEAU Yates as he gaps Billick there on the first turn.
Oh, it just sounds so crisp, that car. We say it time and time again. The Toyota Genuine Parts 86 is on song. Unfortunately, leaving Billick behind. The little SR is wringing his neck trying to catch up, but BEAU the show Yates putting up the smoke screen and saying, see you, Anthony, mate.
Yeah, killer driving from BEAU, but that machine is just unreal. Looking under the bonnet, I mean, I think he introduced for this round these combined temperature and pressure sensors from Bosch Motorsport and a whole bunch of other tricky stuff. If you ever see that thing in the pits, you got to pour over every single inch of it. Anyway, back to the battles and riding on board with BEAU here, we can see that smoke show. Billick's headlights pop up towards the end of 6 there, but there was a huge gap in speed, and as the positions are reversed, I think we're going to see a lot closer battle now.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having the driver, the 86 there, Bobo. Hit me up, mate. Might have to change the seat, but we'll be right. Anthony Billick, foot flat. BEAU the show Yates all over him in the chase.
Beautiful emulation on that switchback there, and I'm sure we're going to see the same thing coming into turn 6. There he is, and bang.
Oh, nice.
Precision to the second and diving in on the door. That is what a chase lap should look like from our first place qualifier. And even Billick's getting excited with that battle. Arm out the window.
That's what we want to see. The boys absolutely loving it. Billy knows he's probably going home, but he's just loving being out there, put on the show. As you can see here, good emulation from Beau. Tucks in beautifully. Billy knows he's there. He can hear that 2J screaming, hand out the window. That's what we want to see.
One of the most excited guys in the series, Billy, but unfortunately knocked out. Made it through to the top 8, and you've got to be stoked with that. Now, riding on board with Michael PROSENIK, being chased down by Brad Toohey. This is a critical battle. Both of these guys, obviously Michael PROSENIK is up in that second place position in the series points, but Brad Toohey also angling for a top spot. So if he knocks out Pros here, that could be a real upset, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen, at least from the first run, because Michael PROSENIK not only hitting the clipping points, but having superior speed throughout the entire run.
Yeah, a little bit messy there from Toohey as they come through the S's there, as you can see. Goes a little bit wide, has to slow down the power. Pros starts to pull away. Toohey tries to catch him back up, but not the way you want to finish the battle. Let's see what happens when we turn them around. Brad Toohey to lead Michael PROSENIK.
Here comes the entry. Pros looks quite aggressive there, tucking in. All you can see is the front wheel of Toohey's car. Look at the distance there between these two cars. Brad Toohey gapping away a little bit there as they switch back into 4 and 5, but then Pros tucking back in. This battle seems to be, you know, a short gap, then a big gap, and both cars separating, because you see Toohey's car's got so much power and grip that when he's on it, it can pull away. But Pros seems to be entering that little bit quicker, so really difficult one for the judges there.
Yeah, be interesting to see how they call that one. If we take a look at the replay, it's GOODRIDE tyres. Remember, Brad Toohey had a few mistakes coming through this section now.
There we go, Kitten Ultra giving us the one more run. Before that happens, let's hear from Carly.
So for us, you got a rerun. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, good. Get to do another couple of laps, so it's good. Yeah, always good competition with Toohey. Similar match power, similar match cars, similar skill. So it'd be good. I'm just going to try and shorten that gap on him, I think, towards the end. Try and conserve tyres. This is just killing tyres. We're getting about 1.5 laps and then they're fried.
Even without the killer Queensland sun, that turn 6 bake machine is a tyre killer. As we heard from Pros, now for another one of our top 8 battles. Aaron Duar leading Levi Clark, who we're riding on board with now.
Listen to that turbo LS Sing Hollinger gearbox.
All the bits.
Looking good from the boys as they come through the S's. Aaron Duar doing nothing wrong out in the lead.
Levi there with him though, tightened up a little bit too much through the middle and had to back off, but he's reeling him back in through the end of turn 6 there. Very nice battle from the battle of the V8s. Although Levi Clark has a big turbs hanging off the side to help him, I'm sure Duar would say, look, I can do it without the turbo. Here's me carby hanging out the bonnet. What a king.
On the limb, looking good.
Both of these cars set up for speed. You can see that touch of positive camber on the rear of these things, putting all the tire to the ground that they can. Two very fast S chassis, and Levi Clark keen to use all of it on that entry there, knowing that he needs something.
Come around the first corner, nice and wide from the boys. Duar can't let Levi get too far away from him here. They were nice and even in that first battle. Coming through the last corner, Levi on a good line. Duar there, nice and tight.
Dabs tucking it in through turn 6. That's a very nice chase run there from Aaron Duar. If I had to pick it, I'd say he's getting the nod there, but only by a little bit. Let's check out the replay. Something flapping around in the car there for Levi Clark, but there's the confirmation the judges have given it to Aaron Duar, who's going to be so stoked. This could be his night. Now for that one more time between Brad Toohey and Michael PROSENIK, who will be leading this one as we ride on board with him now, looking over the big old inlet manifold on that Duar's Racing Engines V8.
Whoa, Michael PROSENIK is going wide and in the dirt. He knows he's going one more time with Brad Toohey. He knew he had to do something spectacular. Comes in hot, ends up in the dirt, and Brad Toohey follows him in.
2 wheels in the dirt there, giving Michael PROSENIK a 10-0. He seems angry about it, blazing those rear tyres the whole way through turn 6. while Brad Toohey conserving it a little bit because he knows there is still one more battle in this one and anything can happen in drifting.
Michael PROSENIK with that mistake. Not what he wants to do for that championship title.
Pretty out of character for him, you know, and he was mentioning before that he was struggling for rear tyre life around this 3 to 6 sections, so maybe just overheating the rears a little bit after those previous runs. Whether or not he changed them, I'm unsure. Oh, he's angry now though. Look at Pros tucking in against Brad Toohey. Bit of a tap there.
Door. Nice and tight. They come through the back extras.
There's a tight battle here. Oh, and through the infield on the switch.
Pros trying to do everything he can to push Brad Toohey into a mistake. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out for him. He's in the dirt again. He's got the big trek home to Melbourne, but he'll be back for the next round.
Unfortunately on the trailer for Pros, but he can't be unhappy with the effort he put in. Yes, there were a few offs in this final battle, but tight chase runs all night and slaying it in the lead as well. Hats off to Michael PROSENIK. He deserves to be up there in the series points, and I'm sure we're going to see him hungry for a comeback in round 4. But Brad Toohey getting the nod there and through into our finals battles. So this is how the ladder's shaping up. Ben Mir and Aaron Dua both making their way through to the top 4 in quite some time. So they're going to be stoked in a tight battle between those two, while Beau the Show Yates is our top qualifier, will be going up against Brad Toohey. We're going to see those battles and the Famous Insurance Pro-Am Series on the other side of the break, so don't go anywhere.
Called Dan Keneally from Hogs Best Racing team, and he hooked me up this ride after driving it at Drift Masters. I felt comfortable in it, so I've driven the car before. It feels good. Plenty of grip. Max Stretch tyres are just brilliant. This thing's got heaps more power than my car. So easy to just throttle it around the track. Makes life easy. I haven't had time to go back down to Sydney and fix it because I left it there. There's just issues. I'm not sure. I'll hopefully get it sorted for round 4.
More issues in the pits. It just seems to be the night for it. But here is our top 4 in Pro class. You can see Brad Toohey rolling through onto the start line there. He'll be facing off against our top place qualifier and also our series leader, Beau Yates. A lot of weight on his shoulders for this battle.
2 86s, 1 2JZ, 1 V8 twin supercharge. Toyota genuine push. 2JZ out in front, absolutely sending up the smoke screen, but Brad Toohey's there.
Battle of the 86s again, seeing Brad Toohey wash wide there. I think we saw that in one of the earlier battles, and that has cost him that gap against Beau Yates, who is on the power the whole way through. 2 very quick cars, you know, these late model chassis, quite light, interesting suspension development under both of them, and seem to get up and boogie with what is north of 500 kilowatt under the bonnet of each.
Taking a look at the replay again, thanks to GOODRIDE tyres, you can see coming through that section. Brad Toohey runs a little bit wide, then that touch and go. That's where the judges want to be out there, but has to slow down a little bit, loses some speed, and Beau Yates pulls away a little bit going to that final corner.
The roles are reversed now. Brad Toohey will now get the chance to lead. Really on him now. Beau Yates had a bit of an advantage by being able to gap Brad through that turn 6, but Beau knows this is a critical battle. Look at him tucking into the wing there, while Brad Toohey on the power coming through turn 3 here. It's all going to be about this middle section and what line he chooses. Looks like he's gone nice and wide. Good for the judges in that outside clip. Beau following him right there though. Seems to be a gap opened up here, but Beau reeling it in through the end of turn 6 there. Quite a good run there from Brad Toohey, and I think this one is going to be pretty much a tie in the judges' eyes.
Yeah, pretty even from both the boys there. Nice clean drifting. Out nice and wide there to the outer zone. Toohey absolutely smashing that loud pedal. Comes around to the last corner. A bit of gap between the boys. There you have it, one more run thanks to KIDO Ultra.
See why the judges called that. While each of the drivers might have had the slight marks down here and there. It was a tight battle, and we want to see it again. But first, Benny Meir chasing down Aaron Dubois. Both of these guys have been keen for some podium finishes, and you can see it in their driving style. Such aggressive entries from both of them.
Looking nice as they come through that first corner. Aaron Dubois onside. Benny Meir's right there, trying not to give him a gap. Shallows up a little bit through that middle section, trying to get tight on his door. A little bit messy for both the boys. Very hard to see coming through that down into those S's at night time with all the smoke coming off the back of those cars.
I don't know, I reckon Dubois was actually pretty neat there. Now, Ben, you can see he was trying to chase down as tight as he could here. Kept the gap nice and tight through turn 3, but then as Dubois pulled away, heading into that 4 and 5 section there, he's cut through the midfield, caused a bit of a straighten up, and for the judges, that's going to be a big disadvantage. Now, Aaron Dubois will be chasing Benny Meir. We've seen from both these drivers that they're hungry for it. It's all going to be on the line in this one. The winner of this battle will be going through, facing off against the winner of Brad Toohey and BEAU Yates to see who's on top of the podium tonight. And a wheel drop from Aaron Dubois. No!
Giving Benny an advantage and a little bit of a gap. Yeah, Aaron really mean.
Those of you not familiar with the judging style, a single wheel drop is a 5-point deduction. Both wheels dropped is a 10-0. So even if you have a perfect run elsewhere, that wheel drop from Aaron Dubois is really going to hurt him. There it is.
Benny Meir goes through to the final. His first ever time being in the final. Well done to Benny. Here it is, the one more time. Brad Toohey and BEAU the show Yates.
Going to be an interesting one. Brad chasing down BEAU Yates here. Nice and tight on the separation there.
Looking good. This is clean up from Toohey through that middle section.
Oh, that is a tight reel in. Here he comes into turn 6. Toohey is with BEAU the show Yates the whole way through that run.
Nice.
Leaving him a little bit of a gap early on, almost intentionally, because Brad knew he had the superior speed, and it's not often that you see BEAU getting reeled in by a quicker car. What an interesting one there.
Nice and tight from both the boys. Toohey finishing off strong right on BEAU Yates' door.
I can just see the anger in BEAU's eyes here. He is so ready now. After having a battle where Brad possibly got the advantage, now BEAU in the chase. I think we're going to see something special here.
The reigning champion out in the lead. Brad Toohey. Oh! BEAU Yates may have dropped the wheel there, trying to get on Toohey's door. Then reeling back in. Nice line from the boys. All comes down this final corner.
That's a harsh one with the reruns as well. You lose quite a lot of tyre life, whether or not you decide to go back in and change tyres between the battles. That's a harsh one there. Brad Toohey seemed to have the speed, both in the chase and in the lead. I reckon the judge is going to give it to Brad.
Take a look at the replay here. Toohey hits that ripple. Sort of sends him a tiny bit of a correction, not that much. But then BEAU Yates just gets caught behind in the smoke, and there you have it. Brad Toohey is your winner. And we'll go through to the final against Benny Meir.
Some great driving from Brad tonight. A very quick car that seemed to suit Queensland's layout very well. So Brad Toohey will be facing off against Ben Meir, while BEAU Yates and Aaron Dubois will duke it out for the 3rd place step on the podium. Before we see those finals battles, we're going to quickly buzz through the famous Insurance Pro-Am. Riding on board here with Isaac Gett in the battle for 3rd place.
Well, before we take a look at those battles, let's take a look at the highlights leading up to your top 4 from Famous Insurance Pro-Am.
So this is how Ben Maloney has found himself in that 3rd place battle. He did face off against the local Mitchell Sutton, and man, is that a great looking 180SX there. Big boy wheels, big wing, beautiful kit. This Queensland style, and we hope we see a few more locals jumping into the Hi-Tec Drift Allstars when we return to Queensland Raceway. Bit of an advantage there for Ben Maloney, who was out in front by quite some distance, and then when they spun him around,
Maloney has a spin, gives Sutton the 10-0.
And that means that Mitchell Sutton did go through for the finals battle there, while Ben Maloney found himself in the battle for third. Daniel Mesmer in one of our judges, Dan Keneally's Hog's Breath Ute there. A borrowed car to be facing up against Isaac Gett in the lead there in the DVS tuning R33 Skyline. Quite a bit of a gap there as Isaac Gett seems to have superior speed through the majority of the course, but Daniel Mesmer there with him as the positions get reversed. Seems eager there in the driver's seat, but that is not Keneally, that is Daniel Mesmer. Now he'll lead. Quite a tight chase there from Isaac Gett, but then having the spin as he comes into turn 6, handing that win to Daniel Mesmer, meaning that he will face off against Mitchell Sutton in the battle for first, while Ben Maloney and Isaac Gett face off in our B final. And that's how the Famous Insurance Pro-Am will wrap up. We did see a lot of other drivers joining in tonight, and we hope to see some more of you in following Famous Insurance Pro-Am rounds. But let's get into it. Isaac Gett versus Ben Maloney in the battle for third place.
Nice and tight there from Maloney. Isaac and Rachel just welcoming their beautiful, gorgeous little boy. Actually born the same day as my birthday, so we know he's got the drifting blood in him.
Better be behind the wheel of that 33 soon. Now Isaac Gett pulling away a little bit from Ben Maloney, and this is going to make it a tough one to call because in the earlier part of the run, Ben Maloney all over Isaac Gett on that first entry there, even through into turn 4. But then as that run progressed, Isaac Gett seemed to have the superior speed through the last section. So the question is, did Ben Maloney emulate that chase run well enough to get an advantage there? Or did Isaac's speed and line show up Ben Maloney through the last part of the track?
Let's flip them around. On the Cook off the line.
Playing some big black marks thanks to DVS tuning, an absolute king of RBs up in Summersby on the central coast of New South Wales.
Maloney pulling away a little bit of a gap on Isaac here. He can't let him have it. Needs to tighten up as they come through the S's.
That is an angry sounding SR, isn't it? And as he switches it around there into turn 6, quite a nice lead run there from Ben Maloney. But it's pretty much a repeat of what we saw last time round, where the chase car was tight early on in the run, then the gap was opened up by the lead car throughout the end of it. So difficult one for the judges to call there of who is going to get the third place trophy. And there's the confirmation, Isaac Gett.
Well done to Isaac. I'm sure Rachel and little Link will be at home cheering on Dad.
Here it is though, the battle for the top step. Mitch Sutton, who we're riding on board with now in that gorgeous 180SX, up against Daniel Mesmer in Dan Keneally's Hog's Breath Nissan Ute.
Oh, Mitch Sutton looking good, out nice and wide. The line doesn't want to see Mesmer behind him.
Few issues there, big straighten up through turn 3. Just generally a messy run here from Daniel Mesmer, while Mitch Sutton slaying it out in front of the local.
RB25 on song, absolutely singing. Oh, Mesmer's in the dirt.
I think it was just after the judge section, so he won't get the forfeited points there, but all around a very messy run there from Daniel Mesmer. There you have it, the wheel drop there just after the finishing point of the judge section. Love to see them run again. I'm sure Dan Keneally, as one of the judges, would have loved seeing his rear bar get slayed on the front straight there. Mitch looks hungry here in the chase. Nice, tight chase
nice
there.
And tight from Mitch.
Look at that, quick dab of the handbrake to slow the car down. Back on the power there, maintaining that angle. He is all over Daniel Mesmer in the chase as well.
Looking good. to both those boys. This is your final for the Famous Insurance Pro-Am Series. Mitchell Sutton versus Daniel Messmer. Let's take a look at the replay again, thanks to Famous Insurance. Nice and tight by Mitchell Sutton. Messmer in the lead, just a little bit messy. I don't know if that car's having some steering dramas. I think it is from previous battles. He's fighting a bit of understeering there, which is very dangerous when it comes to drifting. And there you have it. Mitchell Sutton back to the Hi-Tec Drift Allstars after a short stint off and gets top place in your Famous Insurance Pro-Am Series.
So this is how the points round out after this. Daniel Messmer still out in front with a couple of trophies under his belt. Ross Quigley in second place. Isaac Gett in third within striking distance there. So we're going to see some tight battles as we go into round 4 and 5. But speaking of tight battles, here is our battle for third place riding on board now with Beau the Show Yates. He will be facing off against Aaron Duar. Just waiting here for the release, and there we go. Now Aaron Duar will be chasing, but he looks keen to not give up an inch here from Beau, who he knows is quite quick. Look at the dive! Oh! Looks like Duar just got that little bit too keen there. Had to jump on the brakes to avoid hitting Beau's car. There could have been a slight bit of contact there, but nothing too heavy. Now Duar having to chase down Beau Yates through the rest of this run here.
Not the way Aaron would have liked to come into this battle. We'll take a look at the replay thanks to GOODRIDE tyres. See exactly what happened. You can see on the entry here, nice. And Duar just comes in nice and hot. Beau slows down a tiny bit, boom. Duar has nowhere to go. Look at the angle thrown in, the aggression from Aaron. Mate, if he had pulled that off, it would have been spectacular.
And you know what? Looking at it from outside the car, Duar made the gentleman's decision to not tap Beau's door there. He got hard on that foot brake and threw that car into a spin where, you know, maybe Beau, with the speed that he had, that could have actually been pulled off nice and tight, but making the gentleman's call, not looking to bend either of the cars there. So Aaron Duar exhibiting some fantastic driving tonight.
A little bit of a lock up there for Aaron. Nice. Runs wide.
Another one of his aggressive entries into turn 3, but Beau is right there with him. And look at this tight chase technique here through turns 4 and 5.
Take nothing away from Aaron, the speed of that S14. Sends up the smoke screen.
Not quite as wide there through the end of turn 6 as the judges would have wanted. Unable to shake Beau there, but man, what a great battle between these two cars. Seem to be very evenly matched in terms of road speed, despite being completely different setups. You know, big power turbo JZ under the bonnet of that Toyota Genuine Parts 86. While Aaron Duar, angry, carburetted, naturally aspirated V8. Both very fast cars, but Beau Yates getting the nod from the judges and the third place trophy.
Oh, look, I mean, to get on the podium is always good. Hard-fought battle against Brad Toohey in the 4, so he went through to the final. Yeah, so any podium's a good time. Anytime you're up on the podium's always good. The Toyota Genuine Parts GT86 on the Achilles radials this weekend, it was you know, we qualified first, so I thought we were on target for 3 in a row, but it didn't turn out that way. But anyway, it's all good, and as I said, any time on the podium's fantastic.
Speaking of the podium, here comes the pointy end of it. We have Ben Meir on the line up against Brad Toohey. Both of these guys, you know, up there in the points, but not in that top 3. So this is going to be a real upset after Michael Prosenik and Rob Arbolino were both eliminated, and then Beau Yates getting the third place trophy there as our points leader. I think we're going to see the ladder shuffle up a little bit, but the question is, will it be Brad Toohey, who's right up there in striking distance, or will we see Benny Meir jump up a couple of spots with a win tonight?
Benny Meir's first ever final. Oh no! Benny has dropped the wheel in the dirt, spun around. That's a 10-0 to Brad Toohey. Not the way he wanted to come into his final battle, especially the first time he's ever been in one. Maybe the nerves got to him a little. He's a gentleman. Him and his dad do great efforts in the pits, get the car out here every round. Hopefully he can turn something around the next battle, turn around that 10-0, and Brad Toohey has the advantage.
It's a very hard points lead to overcome, but not impossible. You know, if we see Brad Toohey drop 2 wheels, that'll be an immediate one more time. If we see, you You know, even just a mistake from Brad Toohey out in the lead or an incredibly tight run from Ben Meer, we might see these roles reversed, but a hard mountain to climb for Ben Meer in his first final, opening it up with a 10-0 due to a spin.
Here it is. The final battle of the evening, the final run around Queensland Raceway. Who will come out on top, Benny Meer or Brad Toohey?
This is it. Both drivers obviously hyped up on that start line. There's the release from race control. Ben Meer now leading Brad Toohey. Let's watch him chuck it into turn 3. Bit of a feint there from Ben Meer, but Brad Toohey is right there with him.
Brad, no, he'll have a 10-0 advantage coming to this final battle, but he's pushing hard even though he knows he's got that advantage. He wants to get that top spot. He wants to bring his championship back to life.
No one wants to get the first place trophy on a technicality, so I can understand Brad Toohey going so hard. Ben putting in a killer lead run, but I'd imagine we're about to see the result from the judges.
Suspense. Suspense. As we look at this replay one more time, thanks to GOODRIDE tyres. Benny Meer out in the lead, his first ever final up against your reigning champion, Brad Toohey.
But here comes the confirmation. Brad Toohey getting that first place trophy and Benny Meer going home with second.
How are you feeling with second place today?
Pretty good, you know. Like, I did it the hard way and I qualified a bit lower down the order and then I had to battle my way through, and it's better to do it that way. Like, you really get quality seat time, and I got to do a lot of driving, you know, there's a rerun in there as well, which was really good. So, yeah, it felt really good to do laps and to come out the other end with a really good result. It's awesome.
Brad Toohey, round 3 champion. Brad, how are you feeling right now?
Yeah, pretty good, obviously. Good to get a win under the belt, like obviously winning the championship last year and then having 2 bad rounds, round 1 and round 2. Like, as I was saying to you earlier before, it takes the lows to make the highs feel as good as they are, and yeah, tonight's a pretty good high, yeah.
A few upsets tonight in terms of series standings, with BEAU Yates taking home a 3rd place trophy that's allowed him to open up that lead over Michael Prosenik in second. Brad Toohey leapfrogging past Rob Arbolino now in 3rd place, but Rob's going to be so hungry after being ruled out with a mechanical failure. Aaron Duar driving incredibly tonight and deserving the points that he got, and hopefully we're going to see him back shooting for the finals later on in the series. Now, round 4 is the next one coming up on Saturday, 27th of October. We'll be running both the Hi-Tec Drift Allstars Pro and the Famous Insurance Pro AM Series. Also a Drift for Real out there as well for anyone else who just wants to come, hang in the pits, have a bit of a drive on that judge section and then watch the battles go down. So be sure not to miss it. It's going to be a cracker event, just as this one was at our first time at Queensland Raceway. Thanks to the Master Chef Scott Shembry for joining me up here in the booth. We'll see you next time.